Naka, and welcome to Speak Your Mind. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this week's show where the topic is bus fires. Now, call it coincidence, call it sabotage, or call it what you may, but somehow the cases of bus fires have escalated recently since the introduction of the e-ticketing system last week. The LTA took the drastic step of grounding the whole fleet of the Nasese bus company. In fact, some of their buses remain grounded as the LTA continues its audit. There's been a lot of questions about these bus fires, and let me tell you, listeners on Gold FM, today is your chance to have your say. You can call us up on 3220-907. You can text us on 825. If you have any questions, you can also email us on goldfm@fbc.com.fj. Now, we're fortunate enough to have with us today Mr. Shalendra Prasad from Vodafone, and of course, Mr. David Lockington from Nasese Buses Limited. Let's get right to the point. Mr. Lockington, you first. Nasese Buses have openly blamed the e-ticketing wirings for the fires or recent fires in the buses. Can you please explain?
Gentlemen, the blame aspect of it is I've just joined them for the last 2 days, and I'm not really in a position to make a statement with regard to the e-ticketing machine. But I definitely feel that...
You've just, sorry, let me just correct. You've just joined for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they send you for a talkback show on bus fires when you just joined 2 days ago. But anyway, you've all we got, so...
Yeah, I've had a look at the consoles that they have installed in the Nasese buses, and in terms of the workmanship that's there, I wouldn't really be able to comment on it because I would need a approved drawing, a schematic, to see whether we are getting the work done to the standard of it, and that is something that I don't have.
If I can just ask, Mr. Lockington, I understand you've just joined 2 days. I must say it's quite surprising for me, but looking at the recent news in the media lately, a lot of focus have been on the bus fires, and particularly Nasese buses, which is why we invited Nasese bus representatives today, blaming the wirings from the e-ticketing machines, but the LTA, the police have come back and said this wasn't the cause of the fires. What's Nasese bus's stand now?
The Nasese bus stand now is really trying to get their buses up to standard in terms of LTA's requirement, and that's basically why they've brought me in to implement a quality assurance management system in terms of the technical aspect of the buses. I think they've taken a bold step because it would require Nasese bus to bring their standard of buses to a situation where it could be audited anytime and anywhere. But that's basically the stand Nasese buses is taking.
Shalen, what's Vodafone's stand on this? You've received quite a lot of criticism also, and I mean, as far as the wirings are concerned.
Yeah, sometimes not justified. Thank you, Roland. First of all, I think I'm very pleased to hear that Nasese has actually taken a very, very bold step in terms of introducing a quality management system. I think from our perspective, we as a company, Vodafone believes in very high standards in whatever they do. We are a ISO certified company. We've won the President's Excellence for Business Awards, 3 times already. So we believe in high standards, and whilst we are not an electrical company, and we don't, do these things, we have nonetheless ensured that our, partners, Phonology, who's actually on the ground dealing with the bus operators, have trained personnel and certified to go and carry out these electrical work for the e-ticketing consoles. One of the things that I'd like to say is, there are different bus operators, and they all have the different requirements when it comes to, electrical work. Some bus companies tell us that they want the e-ticketing wire to run directly from the battery to the e-ticketing console. Some want it from the fuse box. Some else want it some other way connected. So what we've been saying to LTA, and I think the board is responsible here, need to give us some sort of a standard, saying this is the approved circuit diagram, this is how it's supposed to be done. We do it based on what we feel is the correct way to do it, and obviously if you'll have LTA as another stakeholder coming on later in the show, we have submitted through Phonology to LTA and for their technical people to vet and approve a standardized electrical circuit diagram that should involve the wiring of the e-ticketing consoles. And we've been waiting for this. We still haven't been able to get this. We've been told that we should get it in this week. But what we'd like to say is, we want to know what the standards are, and we will follow the standards. Having said that, because different bus companies have their own requirements for electrical work, what we have proposed to the Fiji Bus Operators Association, and Rohit Lachan of the Secretary of FBOA should confirm to you later in the program, is that the bus operators do their own electrical. They do their own wiring, however which way they want. They bring it to a...
Now, I understand three models have been sent to LTA?
Yes. No, what we're saying is, Roland, is for the bus operators to do their own wiring, whatever the standard is approved by LTA, and they bring it up to the place where the e-ticketing console is supposed to go in. Vodafone and Phonology will come in and just wire the console to the electricals that has already been done and certified. And after we install the ticketing consoles, we ask if LTA could then go and vet it, inspect it and give us a certification, sign it off, and we'll file it away that we have met the requirements. And anything that happens after that is primarily the responsibility of the bus operators and their systems.
All right. Now, for you listeners, later on in the show, we'll also be having, as Shailen mentioned, we'll have the LTA CEO, Mr. Naisa Tunadeva, on the show. We also have the Director of Traffic, Mr. Mahesh Mishra, and representatives from the Fiji Bus Operators Association. Just going back to the topic for the day, Mr. Lockington, I must say that it is, like Shailen mentioned, a bold step and a welcome step, I must say, by the LTA also in getting you on board to actually start ensuring that the buses, Nasese buses, meet those safety standards. What's being done now, and what do we expect from now onwards?
Currently, what's being done is an audit is being carried out and a plan with regard to the maintenance program. And the next stage is basically looking at the certification of people that actually maintain the buses, from the mechanics, the electrical people, the panel beaters, that they have a minimum qualification in order to be maintaining those buses. And we'll put them through a training program that would suit the company's individual need in the different areas, and we would basically monitor them as well. What's basically put in place is a proper monitoring system whereby the drivers are accountable, the mechanics are accountable, and the electricians are accountable as well at the end of the day.
If I can just ask very quickly, we are running out of time. How many buses remain grounded as we speak, and when are they expected back on the road? Would you know?
As we speak, there are a couple of buses that are grounded out of the 15 that were grounded on Thursday. There's just 2 of them that is having some minor work, and they should be back running by the end of the day. And then we'll be going through the older buses, clinically checking them, having all the necessary work done before it's being inspected.
And Shailen, very quickly, we're pressing time right now. Just very quickly, I understand Vodafone and Phonology have also met with Nasese Bus Company sometime over the weekend, maybe?
Yes, we have. In fact, we have offered to Nasese, and we are prepared to work with Nasese in terms of the implementation of the quality management system. We have basically said that whatever wiring, etc., or electrical work has been done on the console, we are prepared to sit with their electrician, go through the whole thing again at no cost to Nasese. We will do it again in the interest of public safety.
Thank you very much, Shailen. Thank you very much, Mr. Longton. Stick around, because coming up in the show, we've also got, like I mentioned earlier, LTA, Fiji Bus Operators, and police, traffic police. The number to call is 3220-907. You can email us on goldfm@fbc.com.fj or text us on 825. Coming up after the break, more talks on bus fires. Pulavinaka, and welcome back to Speak Your Mind. The topic for today is the recent spate of bus fires around the country. Now, as mentioned earlier, we will be having a few more guests on the show. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Naisa Tunadeva, LTA CEO, and of course, Director of Traffic, Mr. Mahesh Mishra. Just starting with you, Mr. Tunadeva, I know you must have a lot to say, but what's happened since the grounding of the Nasisi buses last week?
Yeah, I think the important, the important question now is what is LTA doing? In terms of trying to contain this problem and the way forward. I know that people of Fiji are waiting to hear from us and of course from our counterpart, the police, on our position in terms of moving forward. We've done a lot of work then. We've gone past the stage of auditing. It's history with us now. We've gone past the stage or the point of a certificate of fitness for buses. What we're actually looking at right now is our proactive measures. And this is where we, in consultation and in agreement with the Fiji Bus Operators Association, will be starting to impose this quality assurance and maintenance system. That is the biggest question, the way forward and how we're going to be addressing this problem. People, they're fed up of this kind of, the talk about bus fires. They want to know what are we, doing, and that is the way forward right now.
Mr. Mishra, if I can just ask, understand Phonology or Vodafone, they've reported the matter to the police. They believe there was some sabotage involved. Are you aware of this?
Yes, as far as the allegation of which Vodafone have come, we are investigating it. But yes, as far as the bus fire incidents, Fiji police forces take it very seriously because our important task is to provide safety for our community. And if a bus is on the road, it becomes our responsibility to ensure the safety of the public is paramount. Especially, and again, recently we have done our operations, joint operation with LTA, National Fire Authority, and Fiji Police Force. And yes, we have determined a lot of discrepancies in some of the buses, and it was taken to further inspection to Land Transport Authority. So our way forward is we need to work together. We need to see that our bona fide traveling public's safety is not at risk, and also the pedestrians. Because the recent bus fire, if you see the incidents, it happened in the city. And we are very much concerned, and we are working with our key stakeholders, this Land Transport Authority and also National Fire Authority.
I'd have to ask this also. A couple of weeks back, if you remember the bus that caught fire in somewhere in Nasinu, it was one of the Nasisi buses also. Now there were claims that it started from the e-ticketing wirings. Later on, Vodafone and Phonology said that there were no e-ticketing machines on board. Has that been also investigated?
Yes, we already got the report from the Land Transport Authority, and yes, the finding is, as far as the fire is concerned, it is not from the e-ticketing machine.
So what happens to the driver or to the people who are claiming that it was actually from the wirings? What happens now?
Well,
I'm asking this. It may seem I'm taking a strap at Nasisi buses, but I'm speaking generally. If this happens again, what happens to people who say this?
Okay, people have the right to make any excuses, but we will take technical report from the relevant stakeholders, that is National Fire Authority and Land Transport Authority. They have right to say, but we will, again, as I reiterate, we will confirm the report from our key stakeholders.
Like I said, looking generally at buses operating in the country, Mr. Tunadeva, you've grounded the whole fleet of Nasisi buses. Do you think that an audit of a similar kind is required for all buses in the country?
Yeah, audit program, it's an ongoing exercise by the authority. We do it once a year, and in cases where a report for those kind of incidents, and we have to do it. It will be done. We will go through this exercise Fiji-wide, and in cases where there could be reports of frequent breakdowns, or even the case like Nasisi, we step in to take that kind of action. Yeah.
If I can ask also, I remember the bus, the last bus that caught fire, Nasese bus, I believe, which was last week or sometime last week. I believe it was also brought in for testing in LTA sometime in June this year.
Yeah.
What is this? What happened between June and last week?
Yeah, case fire or any accident, it's dealt with separately. Surely when you carry out audit, you go back. You check on the fitness program that was done, was that executed in accordance with the process or the procedure, and we ask question along that line, and of course on the point of the incident. In case of fire, we still have to go really thoroughly to determine the cause. But you cannot put that aside, because these are questions that you ask when you dealing with this kind of audit, both on the fitness that was done and also on the cause of fire. But the important thing is, we've gone past that at the level of audit. We already miles ahead now in trying to put long-term solutions. That is where we are right now. And I believe that is what the public needs to hear from us, that they need to know the actions that we are taking. Everybody getting noisy with these bus fires, again, the cause of this fire or the cause of that fire. But together, like I said, with the Bus Operators Association, and even with our counterpart from the police, even from the NFA, what we are doing right now is putting a program together to tell the people of Fiji, look, we got a solution now. Yes, that is history now. It does not mean that we took that lightly. No, every fire incident, every breakdown, any accident at all, it's a matter of concern with us because we put public safety as a priority. But the thing is, we want to put solutions into this and to say this will end this kind of problem.
But just going back to my question again, Mr. Tunedeva, I understand that you've moved on and there's a lot of noise, like you said, mentioned. But of course, the public is worried. They've been worried. But what happens? I mean, the bus is brought in for a fitness test at the LTA. It comes back, and a few weeks later, it catches on fire. The question remains: where's the loophole?
Yeah, I believe the Mr. Lockington from the Nasese bus already mentioned something along the daily check program. Yeah, the case about or the question about the sustaining of the fitness and the safety of the buses. That is something that we already discussed with the Bus Operators Association and telling them, see, this is your part. When buses or any vehicle for that matter, when they do come in for their certificate of fitness or certificate of roadworthiness, that is given at that point in time. Now, the next step, as soon as they leave our gates, that comes down as the responsibilities of the individual operators and any vehicle owner to ensure that the fitness or the safety of the vehicle is intact all the time. And that will come down to the program. But then again, we are saying that this is not only the bus operators' responsibility, it is together a partnership between LTA and the bus operators to look into the program after their fitness.
Okay, stay tuned, because after the break, we will also bring in representatives from Phonology and, of course, the Fiji Bus Operators Association later on in the show. Mr. Mishra, thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you for coming for the show today. You want to say something?
Yes, again, we would like to assure the public, the general public, the Fiji Police Force, we are fully committed to ensure the safety of our traveling public is paramount. And again, we would like to say that any breach of law in terms of safety, we will take the appropriate actions. And finally, just like to assure again that we are working with the authorities, the Land Transport Authority and the National Fire Authority, to ensure how best we can bring the safety measures on our road, and also with the Fiji bus operators, how best they can work together in terms of providing a safe bus on our road.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mishra. Come back right after the break. We will talk more on the issue of bus fires in the country. Welcome back. This is Speak Your Mind. Today we're talking about the recent spate of bus fires around the country. Now, there have been some claims of sabotage. Vodafone and Phonology have come forward. In fact, the claim to have evidence of this sabotage, trying to sabotage the e-ticketing system. And with us in studio today, we have, of course, Director of Phonology, Mr. James Trussler, and of course, Mr. Naisa Tunedeva, CEO of the LTA. Mr. Trussler, let's get straight into it. Your view on the recent spate of bus fires and the blame that has been given to the wirings of the e-ticketing wirings.
Thanks, Roland. Yeah, well, Phonology and Vodafone, our stand is, look, we don't want to have a blame game, and we certainly don't want to be subject to the blame each and every time there is an incident in a bus, whether it be a major fire or a small fire. We have to basically go back to the root cause, and now I can see the authorities are doing that, looking at the quality management system and to see how those buses are maintained. And, you know, and as part of that, we have requested the LTA to come up with a standard for the wiring. So that way the blame, you know, cannot always be passed over to us.
And I know that you've given the three diagrams to the Land Transport Authority. How is that coming along?
Yes, we have submitted 3 diagrams. The history of those diagrams is because these are the different options certain bus companies ask us to do install. One bus company may ask direct from the battery. Another one would be from the fuse box, and another company would ask from the master switch. So we follow the instructions of the bus company, but now I think it's time that the authority actually did give us a standard, and then that way everyone's on the same page, and that we have submitted to the CE and his team who are currently looking at that.
Yeah, we could have just gone ahead with this kind of wiring. No reason at all to get, but because of this case here, I believe it's important that we have to standardize, and I'm happy to that in a way that we have reached the decision, so we can still, end of the day, have this control over the wiring. So yes, the 3 diagrams, the option will be given out. We need some expert views on this, and that is what we're doing, a bit of consultation with the FNU, the engineers, who are also giving their views on which of those 3 diagrams, the one that will be best for this purpose, yes.
Do you think it was really necessary to come up with this? I mean, these e-ticketing machines that we're talking about it's not the first time that they're being used.
That's correct, but I think what we're going back to is an individual's request. We're going back to, in this country we have around about 60 bus companies, so if you imagine we could have 60 different requests how to actually install. So that's quite challenging for us. So like I say, some requests direct from the battery, others in different ways. So that's why we've said, look, rather than every time an incident happens we are subject to blame, because we certainly don't want that. We want to be able to sleep at night. We want to make sure the public are safe. We're saying, look, please, the authority, why don't you come up with a standard? That way all bus companies, solution providers, we're all on the same page.
And looking at these bus companies, Mr. Tunedeva, how's the cooperation been like from them, if any?
No, you're talking about, are you referring to this e-ticketing and the wiring? Yeah, we're talking about more than 900, close to 1,000 of these buses already been installed with the e-ticketing and some kind of wiring already in place. But when you touch that figure together with the where?
Oh, okay. Can I just need some clarification? These 3 diagrams that's been proposed, the wirings, if you come up with a standardized one, will that be for the whole bus operators in the country, or just for a select few?
Once we're going to agree as these to be the standards, then we're going to review all the wiring that are in place. Yes. But like I said, we've already more than 900, 900 plus, close to 1,000 of buses.
Yeah, I'm just asking because then, if that happens, then maybe these buses will have to.
Yes, we'll have to go through it again because of this standard.
We're willing to do that. We're willing to work with each bus company and the authority to make sure that everyone's confident and that the wiring is as per the standard, because we're confident now that the e-ticketing is not the reason for bus fires, but what we're saying is let's go the extra step, actually get a standard out there.
Actually put these things to rest.
Yeah. That's right.
So, but then looking at e-ticketing generally, Mr. Trussler, how's your work coming along?
Look, this project, I think last time we've been on this show, we said it was a very challenging project, and it still is very challenging. Like I say, we're working with 60 bus companies, we're working with several stakeholders in the government, and but together I think we can see light at the end of the day, and the system is working, bus companies are being paid every day, students are now using it. I believe 80,000 students have already been given cards, so we can see it is working. Of course there are teething problems like anything, especially with such a large project. But I think we're almost there now.
Looking at these claims, I mean, you had mentioned that there could have been some sabotage involved, right? Is this sign that maybe some bus operators don't want e-ticketing?
We can say that. We can say that right from the beginning of this e-ticketing project, there were lots of questions that were coming up. People were not too clear. There were operators that are still asking questions. The merit of doing this, and I believe now, almost a year down the road, the light is getting clearer and clearer. But in the beginning, yes, we can say that there were those that opposed. Drivers that were not happy with this. The whole reason here is becoming transparent with the system, the fare system, and there are, of course, those that will resist.
Yeah, I totally support the CE on that. I mean, it's been challenging from the start. Like I say, it still is challenging. But I think the key thing is it is in more than 900 buses, and it is working. It's a solution that is working.
And I guess it would be expected, Mr. Tunadeva, for something. For some change like this to happen, there will be some opposition.
You're going to make change, and change will all easily accepted by those who will be affected. So in this case, yes, we have no reservation from that. It's also happening with the e-ticketing project.
And looking at, I understand you also met with Nasese buses over the weekend. There was some talk of him trying to take out all the e-ticketing machines. What's the latest now? What's happening? Is he taking out all the machines, or?
Yeah, I think.
Let me just put on record that we did invite Nasese Bus's owner on the show today, but he's busy for some reason.
I think just like phonology, they were just trying to clear the air. They want to do it again. I think they've already talked with phonology on that matter.
Yeah, probably let me explain. I think on that day, Roland, everyone was very heated and a little bit upset. Of course, naturally, the director of Nasese would have been upset to have his fleet grounded. So I think both sides said things that maybe we shouldn't have said as such. But like I say, we have spoken since. We've also met. We put a team of technicians to assist him. We have a team of technicians standby if they want us to do any checks with them or anything. But the message we've got is clear that Nasese is not removing the machines, and we're working together to actually get the buses back on the road as soon as possible.
So finally, Mr. Trussler, before I let you go, can we say now that it's water under the bridge for these claims of sabotage and issues between phonology and Nasese and any other bus company?
Like I say, we're here working with everyone. We've got all stakeholders are our partners, and definitely we don't want to blame. But what we do want, we want a clear, solution going forward. Hence the standard which LTA should give us and the bus companies. So that way, it's easier for all of us.
Mr. Trussler, thank you very much for coming to the show today. Mr. Tunadeva, we'll see you again in the next segment. Stick around, because after the break, we have representatives from the Fiji Bus Operators Association. Bulavinaka, and welcome back to Speak Your Mind. The topic today, bus fires around the country, and generally just the safety of passengers traveling by bus. We've had representatives from Vodafone, from Phonology, and as well as from the Nasese Bus Company. We've also got in show today, fortunately, Mr. Rohit Lachan. Thank you very much for taking out time to be part of the show today. And of course, LTA CEO, Mr. Naisa Tuinadeva. Starting with you, Mr. Lachan, I understand you're watching the show from our control room. What's your whole take on the recent bus fires that's been happening around the country?
I think it's good to see that it's all now a thing of a past, and we are all very positive and,
hopefully,
and moving forward. And I'm sure that we'll be able to control all this for future.
If I can just ask, what was the role of the Fiji Bus Operators Association when there was these bus fires seem to have escalated as soon as e-ticketing machines were introduced? What was the role of the Fiji Bus Operators Association?
Let me explain to you our role. As an association, we are here to protect the interest of our operators, our members. And at the same time, we are here to see that, to work together with our regulator LTA to see that the law is followed. And also, very importantly, we are here to see the safety of the passengers. Because without the passengers, we're not in business. So these are the role of FBOA to see that all three, we all work together to see that the standards are maintained and public are saved at its best.
Now, looking, you just explained your role. Looking from before the bus fires actually started happening, was this role being fulfilled, or was there something lacking?
No, we've always been, at it. So. we're quite surprised. We're really baffled, as to why this thing is happening. Because at a time when the bus industry is investing substantially, you see on our roads today we have so many new buses, and this is happening at this time is really unbelievable. We don't understand why it's happening. So equally, we are concerned, and we're working together with LTA to see that this is not going to happen in future and is a thing of the past.
Mr. Tunadeva, is this a thing of the past?
Yeah, well, let's go back to what he said. He mentioned that correctly. Right in the time where we have gone through a lot of refleeting. There's no such time like what we're facing or going through right now. We have seen lots of new buses on our roads. Down on our record, just for the past 2 years, we got close to 100 new buses, brand new buses on the road. And with these recent, these fire incidents, it's quite unfortunate. Yeah, well, like I said, we need to move on. We really don't want to be sitting on these bus fires. We are looking right in front of, the long-term solution and how we can bring the confidence back onto our traveling public by, ensuring, that the safety will always be paramount to us, and the kind of programs, we're working on to make sure just to confidently say, yes, our buses are safe. We have this kind of system. We have this kind of programs that take care of our buses.
Mr. Lachin, I understand there's been a lot of support also from the FBOE towards the Land Transport Authority in trying to ensure public safety. Moving on now, what's the FBOA's stand in trying to ensure that this indeed happens?
Well, we've always been committed to the traveling public. That is, passenger safety is paramount, like I've said before. And we'll continue to see that passenger safety is paramount.
Okay, let's just take a step back and look at Nasese buses, for example. They were blaming the e-ticketing wirings and such. From the very beginning, when e-ticketing was said to be introduced, what was it like in the association? Were there any opposition? What was it like?
Let me take you back to the history, how e-ticketing was introduced. In fact, every time we apply for bus fare, there has been an issue with traveling public and all that. So government decided to bring in a consultant to review the whole industry. And they brought in a consultant from UK called Orion Consultants. They carried out a survey and came up with the recommendation. And one of the recommendations was e-ticketing. So we did not step back because we have nothing to hide. So we accepted it wholeheartedly and we went ahead to implement e-ticketing because there's nothing to hide from our part. We want to be transparent, and the recommendation was that there should be a transparent method of collecting bus fare, which we did. So here we are. We've got e-ticketing machines now. Unfortunately, the project has been delayed, but we're keeping our fingers crossed to see that it's going to implement soon.
Could it be that maybe some drivers were not happy with the introduction of the e-ticketing system?
Well, really, I can't say that, because it's a law, and we're all here to follow, whether we like it or we not, or we lump it. But it's just that we need to follow the law. It's a law now, and we'll have to have a e-ticketing bus machine in all our buses.
And moving forward, Mr. Tunadeva, I understand there's also a system that will be implemented to ensure that buses are safe and good for the public.
Yeah, the quality assurance maintenance system. Yeah. That is the program that already discussed with the Bus Operators Association, and we have agreed on the the phase implementation. We're working on that right now. Now, cases like for Nasese, heard from David Lockington, the engineer already being hired by the directors of the Nasese. They're going to start straight away on that. We cannot wait for the next fire. We cannot no more of this. So we already, while we still talking on phases, at this stage, we have bus operators that are coming in. Very, very encouraging to see that, and they want this to start working on their respective bus companies, and that's how we're doing it right now.
Mr. Lachin, can I ask, is Nasese buses also part of the association?
Yes, they are a very important member for us.
So how has it been like for the association since this whole issue came to light and it was publicized how many weeks in a row on the news?
No, we were working together with Nasese Bus and LTA, and to see that whatever the requirements are from LTA is met. And at the same time, we also looked at the interest of the company, the passengers in the area of service. We provided service to see that minimum disruption was, to the passengers. And we make sure that that company fleets are put back on road to see that the company is back in operation. And interestingly, the company has invested quite substantially. They've got 15 brand new buses as well. So it's not that company is a bad company. Nasese is also investing. They are they are serious in business. This is why they are investing. So we can't just say that Nasese Bus Company is the worst company in this country. No, that's not true. This company is investing and they are showing a lot of interest. If they were not serious about the business, then they wouldn't be investing in the business. Huh?
Very well mentioned there, Mr. Lachin. We'll return after the short break and talk more in our last segment of Speak Your Mind on the recent spate of bus fires and generally bus safety for our passengers. Welcome back. This is the last segment of Speak Your Mind. Today we're talking about buses in general. Now, I understand we were talking about the quality, what was it, quality?
The quality assurance maintenance system. Yeah.
Yes, that system. How are all other bus companies? Have they all accepted this? I mean,
yes, Roland. In fact, we are talking with LTA on a daily basis now, and quality assurance maintenance system is a very important part of our business. And we've agreed to introduce the quality assurance maintenance system on phases, like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Finally, we get to where the requirements are. But it doesn't mean that the bus operators don't have any standards. We have been in business for a very long time, and there are our own systems. But now that LTE has introduced that, it's a lot of things that we are already doing. So it's good that it's coming from LTE, the standard. Even the operators that are now currently using that system, we are in our own way, but it's good to see that now we are having a standard in place that all bus companies will follow, and which is a good thing.
Mr. Tunedeva, just very briefly, I know there must be a lot to say about this system, but can you just give us a brief explanation of what's done during when you fully implement this QMS system?
Yeah, the QMS, firstly, if I can give a quick background, it's a maintenance system, as correctly mentioned by Rohit. Yes, they got, most of them got something in place in terms of their preventative maintenance program, different phases, different level, different standard. The QMS, what we're going to do now is simply going to be the standard, and most of those companies that already got something in place, they will just have to benchmark. So it's not going to be a big job for most of the operators who already got some system. The maintenance system is just to ensure that buses are maintained, to the standard as required by law.
So this will require buses coming to the LTE office? Or?
Yes. Part of that is coming to the... See, what we're saying is this. If we're going to provide the fitness, and there is no standard out there, no system out there that will ensure the maintenance of that fitness, why should we pursue? It doesn't make sense. You need to get the fitness done. That is the responsibility and the role of LTA. And lots of questions been asked. When there is a breakdown, when there is an accident, when there is a fire, the first question will come: will these buses, will these cars, will this vehicle pass by authority? Yes, was done. On what kind of standard? Yes, we use a standard. There is an international standard that we are using. But the maintaining of that fitness, of that safety is a question. So this is where we have agreed that we need to have a system, a standard system, and the QMS is the one that we all agree that we will be used.
Yeah, just going back to what you said, when incidences like this happen, the first thing that happens is they point a finger at the LTA and say, what's happening? You must be receiving quite a lot of pressure in the past few weeks, Mr. Tunedeva.
The question will always come back to LTA. What have we done? How was this, those vehicles passed? What kind of system are we using? Who inspected that vehicle? then all the kind of allegations do come in, the collusion, the corruption, the briberies, and all those. Yeah, like I said, we've gone past that level. We are sitting right now on the kind of system and the kind of program from the fitness at LTA back to the operators looking after their buses under a program, under a system that will ensure the fitness that was given that day, will remain that level until the next fitness stage.
You want to say something?
Well, in fact, now that the technology, we have technology now, right? And the way operators were doing in the past, like, we were just, keeping records, Now that this QAMS, Quality Assurance Maintenance System, is in, and LTA wants us to keep, because now with the advanced technology, wants to keep all the records and things like that, which is a good thing for the industry. So that, it's well maintained. We know the records. LTA can audit anytime they want, rather than grounding the buses, So this is, we welcome the quality assurance maintenance systems. And now with the technology, I think it will be easy for us. Basically, what quality assurance maintenance system for us is to take advantage of the technology and to bring things, into more informations and all that, so that it becomes easier for LTA to audit and things like that.
Just a few weeks ago, maybe a few days ago, we did a story on the fact that some bus travelers, some people who frequently use buses, the public were actually starting to sort of lose that confidence in traveling by buses, because they were getting scared. Almost every week there was reports of bus fires. What's being done now to ensure that public confidence is restored in public transport, especially buses?
We understand that's a natural reaction for anybody for that reason. And, I want to assure the traveling public that, all buses are safe to board in. There's things like this happen. As much as, we don't want fires to happen in buses. This is an accident. No one means to do things like this, but it has happened. We are doing all our best to see that this will not happen in future. We cannot give you the guarantee that it will not happen, but we are doing our best together with LTA to see that these kind of incidents are avoided. And I would like to assure all the traveling public that buses are still safe to use. And this is something that, we don't condone. It has happened. We can't unwind the clock. But my assurance to them is that buses are still safe to use.
Mr. Tunedeva, I think we're getting towards the end of the show now. Just going back to the bus fires that have happened in the past. LTA has done their investigation. I understand police have done also their investigation. Mr. Latson has just mentioned that these can't be helped because they're accidents. Were there any cases that were investigated that determined otherwise, that it wasn't an accident? Maybe it was a case of sabotage?
I cannot recall in a case where the allegation of sabotaging came in and that was proved. I can remember that for the stats for the last 10 years, that for 80% of the fires were all due to electrical fault. That is what I can confirm right now. When we receive this kind of allegations, the important thing is for us to zero in and try, to really go down determining the cause of fire. But not to my knowledge that okay. No, people say what they want to say, but not we cannot be sitting on that. We have to be factual in what we do. And
so the LTA and FBOA agree that 100% sure that there were no attempts to tamper with the system and actually cause these bus fires meaningfully?
For the tampering of the system, yes, that is something that I can confirm, yes. We got a system, we got an electrical system here, and, when people try to, in the middle of work, put in their own, own style, own ways of doing things, by tampering the system to include other devices in, as for cases of...
So it could be that they're tampering with the system, not knowing that it could cause this fire.
The effect, not understanding the impact, the effect of this.
Okay. Any last words from you gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Roland, for inviting us to the show today. And we'd just like to assure the traveling public that buses are still safe to use. And whatever happens, this is an accident, it was beyond our control. But we are we're here to provide service to the traveling public, and we'll continue to do that. And safety is paramount to us. Passenger safety is paramount, and it will never be compromised. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to give the same assurance to the traveling public. Our buses are safe. Those cases, it's really unfortunate. Those fires, and we want to say yes, our buses are, they are still safe for the safety of the traveling public. That will always be a priority to us. We are not going to compromise. We've done that many times before, where we actually stepped in, to check, to audit. We did that again last week. The interest of the traveling public always will be there. And like to thank the support too from the Bus Operators Association last week. They showed that kind of support in trying to make sure while we're doing our job, this service is not being disrupted. And also the support in mapping out the way forward, in moving forward, in getting solutions, in all, we want treatments on these problems. And at this stage, we are happy to have the support, and we are very confident too on what we're doing now as far as the QMS as the best solution for the problems that we are facing with our budget.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for taking time out again to come and be part of Speak Your Mind. There you have it. Speak Your Mind. You have the assurances from the horse's mouth, Mr. Tuinadeva from the LTA, and of course, Rohit Lachan, General Secretary for the Fiji Bus Operators Association. Do join us again next week, Monday, 12 p.m. right here on Gold FM for Speak Your Mind. And of course, this show replays on FBC TV on Tuesday nights at 10:30. Until next week, I'm Roland. Goodbye for now.